All right, let me see if I can finally do this. This is like the third time, possibly even the fourth time that I've tried to record this video. I'm trying to make them as authentic as possible because it's just better when it's authentic. You know, it's better when it just kind of comes out genuinely from the heart kind of stuff. And so I'm trying not to do what I usually do, which is try and make it perfect. It's not going to be perfect. So bear with me, but here's the thing. I was getting some guidance the other day. I was talking to someone just about what was going on in my life, and they were saying, you know, Bryan, you shouldn't listen to your feelings. Don't trust your feelings. In fact, I had a mentor when I was younger who would tell me, you know, feelings, they're not right or wrong, they just are. And and both of them are true. It's not necessarily wrong with what they're saying, but to say to never trust your feelings, I mean, that's kind of a pretty big blanket statement. I mean, I've seen a lot of therapists, psychologists, coaches, like online and stuff, and they're, you know, your feelings will lie to you. Don't trust your feelings, you know, don't follow your feelings. And honestly, that's not true. When you actually look at what feelings are and how they operate within you, that's not actually true. I believe what they're saying is don't always act on what you're feeling, which that's true, right? Because feelings come and go, and obviously if you're making, let's say, a permanent decision on a temporary feeling, there's going to be some regret there. But feelings actually, there's this part of the central nervous system, a part of the subconscious that's telling you something. It's a signal. It could be a red flag or a green flag, depending on the situation that you're in. And so honestly, you do need to listen to your feelings because you feel that way for a reason, right? So if your thoughts are off, and honestly, real quick, your consciousness or your rational mind will actually lie to you more than your feelings will lie to you. And a lot of people believe that they're more logical. They're like, I'm a very logical person. I think logically. You know, I've talked to a lot of engineers in my time, and when it comes down to it, they're actually thinking more emotional than they believe. And many people will rationalize staying in a bad relationship, staying in a bad job, you know, staying in a situation that they probably shouldn't be in, but it's like, this is all I can get. There's like the scarcity mindset or whatever. So they lie to themselves, right? Even though it's going against their feeling, right? Their rational mind is actually irrationally telling them to stay where they are, right? Your feelings are there for a reason. And I'm not saying to always act on them, but I am saying you should always pay attention to them. For instance, I had a client who dealt with anger issues, right? And so he would have these outbursts, and there he is acting on the feeling. Now, we worked on it, and he doesn't act on the feeling as much. And what we ended up doing was dissecting where the anger came from. Now, anger typically is a secondary emotion. It's a protector. It's protecting you from whatever the underlying feeling is, whether it's injustice or disrespect or abandonment or confusion or fill in the blank. It's protecting you from something. And so we were able to look under there, and we got to the root of what the anger was, right? And so because we were able to dissect the feeling, we were able to get to the root, right? And then the majority of the feeling that he was having came from childhood. right? I've met a lot of people from that have had so much trauma in their childhood that as an adult, they're still getting this feeling. So for instance, I had a client who was getting panic attacks out of nowhere, right? I'm getting these panic attacks out of nowhere. And I was listening to a doctor the other day, and I'm not sure where I stand on this at the moment, but he's like, there's no such thing as a chemical imbalance. Now, I'm not going to say that's true or not true. However, I do agree with what he was saying, that the majority of the time, your central nervous system is conditioned at such a young age to believe and react in a certain way. And then we carry these beliefs and reactions into our adulthood. So we have this old survival mechanism that's carried or transferred, right? That's true transference. It transfers into your adulthood, and then you're getting panic attacks out of nowhere. You're getting anger outbursts out of nowhere. Now, I don't know what the problem is. I'm just angry. I'm just anxious, I guess, right? But if we take the time and we look and we ask ourselves, give your feelings a voice. Give it a voice. Write it out. Talk it out. Type it out. Go talk with someone about it. Just, dissect it as much as you can to kind of find out where that came from. Now, not all trauma obviously comes from childhood. You get, many times there's trauma throughout life, right? Like in the very first video I had posted about the relaunch, titled Help, it just talks about how life in itself is a form of suffering. And I know that's very drastic and very pessimistic, but it's also very realistic. I mean, something I say quite often is like, the way I know I'm awake is that I'm tired, right? Like, if I'm not tired, then I'm probably sleeping or possibly on my third cup of coffee. No, I don't know, something like that. But a lot of trauma takes place through life, and it reprograms our beliefs. It reprograms our subconscious, and that's where the term subconscious reprogramming or subconscious programming comes from, also known as conditioning, right? And so to circle this all the way back, I disagree with the idea that you shouldn't listen to your feelings, that you shouldn't follow your feelings. I had a client ask me once, how do I know when to set a boundary? And it's like, well, you'll feel when your boundaries are being crossed. So listen to your feelings. Pay attention to your feelings, right? And the unique thing about feelings is you feel it in your body, right? So we know that our thoughts affect our physical body. It's mind, body, spirit, but it's all one mechanism. And so many times if someone's going against your values or crossing a boundary or just doing something that is genuinely, that your body, the red flags are going off, the buzzer's going off, something's not right, I'm not feeling right. And you can feel it in your stomach. If you're anxious, you feel it in your stomach. If you're stressed, you feel it in your shoulders. If you're angry, you can feel it in your chest. And that's not always as accurate of where everything is, but you feel it in your body. And if you hold on to that feeling, right? If trauma does take place, your body will hold on to that feeling, right? One way, I thought this was cool. One way to look at emotion is energy in motion. It's literally energy in your body. It's got to go somewhere. And if you don't resolve the issue right then and there, it can be trapped in your body. Or if you don't come back and resolve the issue, it can be trapped in your body. Look, your body doesn't forget. Your body doesn't lie to you. It just doesn't. And your conscious, rational mind will, right? Your logical mind will lie to you more than the feelings actually do. So, with that being said, pay attention to your feelings. What are they saying? I'm not saying act on them, obviously. I'm not all the time anyway, but pay attention to them because they're saying something. And many times that can bring you back to old trauma, that can bring you back to old wounds and, you know, maybe some things that you need help healing from, right? And so if that's something that you're interested in, if you feel that you have old wounds or old trauma, something like that, you know, feel free to reach out, right? Contact is in the description. We have people, Redbrook does have people, clinicians and coaches and people to help with that. Or leave a comment, let me know what you think. Please hit the thumbs up, get that algorithm going. If there's someone that you think that would benefit from hearing this, feel free to share, you know, stuff like that. So let me know what you think. Appreciate it, guys.